Greetings. My name is Eric Sandberg, and I'm doing my technology presentation on Snapchat. The good, the bad, and the ugly. And lucky for you guys, there are no selfies, so you do not have to witness the ugly. What is Snapchat? And kind of some of the reasoning behind why I chose to do Snapchat as my communication app is Faribault Public Schools, at least the middle school and high school, they've gone to a one-to-one iPad. As their kind of technology plan and everything. And the students that I work with, and I'm always seeing them, and not sure if this is a mistake or not, but they're always on, Snapchat, chatting away. Whether this app should have been blocked or whatever, who knows. However, the students are always on this app, and I'm thinking if these students are always communicating to one another, to their friends, they have these iPads, they have this media right in front of them, why not maybe access that medium of communication that they're using all the time and see if we can pour some academics into that medium just to see, will this work? So essentially, what is Snapchat? Snapchat's a mobile app essentially where they can communicate and chat with friends. Essentially, it's a text message, but instead of a message, it is a photo or a video that lasts up to 1 second to 10 seconds long. So they will snap a picture of something, they might add a caption, they might not, and then it goes away supposedly forever after that video is played. I guess until maybe WikiLeaks or something like that still comes back out, but supposedly it's gone permanently. And that's kind of Snapchat in a nutshell. There are a bunch of other features to that, but essentially it's a messaging system that you can send a message, you send it to the person or to the people that you choose, and it lasts for anywhere from 1 to 10 seconds, and then it goes away. This next slide is a tutorial to Snapchat. It's like a Snapchat 101. I'm not going to play it in this video. I will attach my PowerPoint to this presentation, so if you are way confused about anything from the previous slide, or as I continue on with this slide and you're confused about what's going on and everything, this is just a quick little tutorial, and there's tons of stuff. Just Google, what is Snapchat online, and you'll find tons of resources and everything. Or to be honest, better than Google is if you go up to any middle school or high school student and ask them, give me a 1-minute rundown as to what Snapchat is. They will give you everything you need to know and then some, and plus you'll probably be in their Snapchat stories or whatever as well. So it's definitely maybe or maybe not an honor to ask them. So how it works, and my lens that I'm kind of doing this project through is that I am kind of envisioning myself as a teacher, and more specifically a high school teacher. And I'm seeing my students using Snapchat and everything. So I'm thinking, all right, my students are using this. I want to be able to get in there and to figure out how to connect with these students and how to best communicate with these students. And so to kind of be tech savvy and to think of myself as maybe an innovator, I'm going to create a Snapchat account for my classroom. And this is going to be my professional classroom to where I am going to give out information. And a feature that I guess I haven't talked about yet is this feature called a Snap Story. And how this works is I create my account, my Snapchat account. It's Mr. Sandberg. And I don't have to follow, I'm not looking at other people's Snapchats or anything. I just have my own account. People will then request to follow my account. And when they request that, what they're asking for is access to see the pictures that I put on my story. It's kind of a one-way communication to where they can see what I'm posting on my story, which is kind of like a feed where I put my pictures on that last 10 seconds or whatever, and then I cannot see anything that they do or anything like that. I have zero connection to them. They just see what I'm doing. So it's kind of like a one-way communication. So I'm envisioning and I'll show an example in a little bit, but I'm a teacher. I have my account. Students follow me, and whatever things I post to my story or my news feed, those students can see. They can't communicate with me any other way, I don't believe. I'll have to ask a high school or a middle school student if that's true, but because they're the experts. But I'll post things, they can see it, and then they can, receive that information on my news feed, or my story is what they call it on Snapchat terms. I can post something. It can last for 10 seconds. I can post multiple things, so essentially a series of 1 to 10-second videos or pictures or audios, and those students can receive that information. All of those last for 24 hours. So if I post 3 things for 10 seconds each, a student can roll through that, play those things, and then if they forgot or if they need to revisit that, they can go and they can replay those things again. So it's not like the other features to where they, sorry, apparently my computer needs an update. But it's not like the other ones where they just disappear for eternity. If you put those on your story, they last for 24 hours. So I'm thinking, as a teacher, I'm going to post these things onto my story. They'll last. Those students that are following me that need that information, is just one additional means of communicating with those students to, hey, you have an assignment coming up. For example, I post something to Mr. Sandberg's My Story. Students are following me, so this would be an example of a student's phone. They're like, oh, Mr. Sandberg posted something to their story. There's a recent update. I'm going to go ahead and check it. So what they do is they go ahead, they go to their phone, they click on My Story, and all of a sudden, boom, this pops up right here. They have 10 seconds to look at this image, and essentially this is a picture of the book that they have to read with a little blurb that says read chapter 1 through 4, it should be chapters, lovely, before class on March 14th. This will be up on their phone for 10 seconds and then it'll disappear. And it'll lead to the next one. Oh, well, Mr. Sandberg took a picture of the syllabus and due on 3:30, read blah 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 blah. Right here is circled. The student can see it. It's very easy to read and they can see that. And then the next image that's going to pop up on their screen is kind of just a fun and not so funny thing, just saying good luck, email me with questions, thumbs up. Just kind of a fun connection with the student. It'll last for 10 seconds and then it'll go away. Let's say the student rolled through these 3 pictures, 30 seconds. They saw it kind of got on their radar, and then they put their phone away, they start doing other stuff, they come back, they start Snapchatting with their friends again. All of a sudden they think, oh wait, Mr. Sandberg posted something on their wall. They can go back and they can look at their story and they can replay these 3 images. That'll pop back up on their news feed. Well, I have to do these chapters, etc., etc. I can go do my homework. Strengths, weaknesses, and implications for leadership. Well, this is kind of it's a toss-up. The strengths of using Snapchat. It's a technology that I believe that many students are using. They can access it. It's a free app. If you're in a one-to-one situation and it's allowed on your iPads, I mean, all the students probably will have it. A majority of them will have it on their phones, and their personal phones, etc. It's just another easy way to communicate with students. Is it the only method that I would use to communicate with students? Absolutely not, because you're not going to reach all the students. Is it another method that's easy to communicate with students? Or if students are always on Snapchat or frequently on Snapchat and they're chatting with their friends and all of a sudden an educational thing pops up, they look at it, it might just be that other reminder to, hey, I got to do some homework tonight or I have to study. It's very user-friendly. If you watch that tutorial that I posted in previous slides, it will absolutely be it's very easy to learn. There's 3, 4, 5, 6 different things and you're a Snapchat expert. It's easy to communicate with a lot of students with little time and effort. If you have 150 students that you work with during the day, half those students have Snapchat and they follow you. You can create a snap for a reminder to homework in 10 to 20 seconds, and that will get communicated to 75 different students out there. So it's just an easy way to mass communicate to students that want to follow you. You can record a message as a video or as a photo. You can take a quick picture of the book or the syllabus, or if you want to add a photo, you can have audio in it. You can have your voice saying, you need to do this, this, and this. And it's a potential to make your subject more entertaining to the student. Maybe you are on a vacation and you're at the Washington Memorial and you want to take a quick snap of the Washington Memorial and tell a student that email me for the first response gets a prize or something like that if you can name what this snap is of. So there's other ways, you can get fun, creative, etc. to kind of make this a cool educational app. Weaknesses. And I've actually not experienced with Snapchat, but I've used Twitter, and students kind of say, one of the reasons why they don't want to follow me on Twitter, or they feel like it's they don't want to follow your snaps or your Twitter. It's their own personal space that they don't want interrupted by adults, or they don't want education or anything. They just want it to be their own space that they want. So they might not want to follow your snaps. They just might say that this is not something that they're interested in. Privacy issues and lack of transparency. It's Snapchat. There's no accountability if you're a staff member. It's one of those kind of murky waters with technology and social media, to where there aren't maybe necessarily so many mechanisms to, I guess, keep you out of issues that could get very murky, and there's lack of transparency, and you might not know if this student is actually who they are, or if there's just issues that can happen. You can imagine, various situations and scenarios that couldn't be, not the best ever. And the next one, is Snapchat a fad? Will it just fade away? Recently, I've found out that students are less and less using Twitter, which I just, I thought it would be kind of around forever. Or Facebook, I'm finding out, is slowly just being a method to post pictures, and they're not necessarily really engaged in Facebook. So is Snapchat just going to be this new app like Vine or something else that'll be a big hit, and in a couple years it'll go away? And is this a method that's really worth using? And then just kind of little nuts and bolts, the pictures and the videos can be shown for a maximum of 10 seconds. They can be replayed, but is that going to get a quality message across if you have to snap something in 10 seconds and then essentially put together a little piecemeal message to the students? And is that going to be an effective communicator to these students? Implications for, there we go. Implications for leadership. As a leader, it's a potential to be tech savvy. You can be on the cutting edge, or as some people like to say, the bleeding edge. They're the people that are on the front of the front of the front of the cutting edge. You can be tech savvy. You're on the end. The kids know that, hey, this guy knows what Twitter or Snapchat is. They are all in. This is awesome. This is super cool. Just the novelty of being this tech savvy with this new app could potentially have these awesome benefits. Social media has a powerful influence on youth, both positive and negative. And if we can somehow create an avenue for education, or for a positive avenue to get into that student's life via social media, it could be a very powerful tool. Social media seems to be a mostly untapped resource in education. It kind of seems to be, for reasons why in that weaknesses slide I just posted, it's kind of murky waters. There's not a lot done with it. It's fairly a new phenomenon, within the past, 10 years or whatever. So it's kind of an untapped resource. Some people are afraid. It's pretty murky. You don't know, it can go bad, it can go good. There's not a lot of precedent. I feel like some people tend to hesitate towards that just because they might not necessarily be social media natives. And then the last one is, just be careful. You're a leader. When things are posted on social media, they can be found, they can be resurrected, they can be, brought back. So anything as a leader, if you post on social media, you want to think of that as being permanent, because potentially somebody can find it. And I just want to give you a big thank you for listening to this presentation. It's gotten awfully long, so the opposite of a Snapchat, and I just wish you happy snapping. Good luck.